I actually had to say to myself, lady, put your brush down, step away from your watercolor. I mean, my cheeks were red. I was like feeling flushed. I just knew I was getting to that point where I was really frustrated. It was time for me to walk away. Let's talk about watercolor tips today. What those basic things are that you need to think about when you are beginning your painting in watercolor. Hello everyone, I'm Kelly. So if you're here, maybe you're a busy mom, maybe you are a retiree or a beginner, maybe you are a perfectionist that just wants to let go. If you're any of those things, you're here in the right place. I'm a watercolorist. I have been painting for over 20 plus years and I have many online courses and I absolutely love to share with you guys. So today we're going to talk about watercolor basics, as far as not basics as in brushes and how much water and things like that, but basics and what you have to think about before or during your painting. Let's just go in. I have a number of things. I think I have 8 of them in total, and I'm looking at the wrong side again. I don't know how long she can go. Oh, nope, that's not it. She's done. Oh my gosh. She's literally had water down all day. Okay, she's done now. Are you done? All right, let's dive in. Like and subscribe. Okay, so there's a lot to that. There's composition, there's color, there's contrast, there's texture, and then there's scale and proportion. There's also movement and rhythm, there's emphasis. I mean, there's a lot to unpack under this. But let's just talk really quickly about how important it is to achieve that balance. And it's not always the easiest thing to do, but it really gives you a very visual, pleasing, cohesive whole painting. So for composition, balance can be achieved through arranging the elements within that composition. It can involve placements of symmetry or asymmetry and the distribution of positive and negative spaces. Color is really about considering different hues, the saturation, and the value of those different colors within the painting. So if you're using harmonious color schemes or you're balancing with complementary colors, it can really bring a painting together visually. For the contrast, you can add visual interest and depth to the painting, but it's really essential that you balance areas of high contrast with areas of low contrast. And that's going to prevent the image from appearing a little bit overwhelming. For texture, that's really about adding richness or complexity, which is really important to help balance out areas of smoothness with areas that might have a little bit more visually going on. And then scale and proportion is really about the proportions of the object within the painting. No single element should dominate the composition. Of course, if you're doing a single flower, that might be a little bit different, but just pay attention to the size of objects and how they interact with one another. Like for the florals, are pretty much, we've got some big ones and some little ones. It's really something to consider, especially when you're doing like landscapes or seascapes or cityscapes, things like that. Even with trees, right? Forward and backwards in the painting. And then we want to talk about movement and rhythm. That's just balancing the viewer's eye so that it just kind of flows through the whole composition. Now this particular one I'm going to take, and I'm actually cutting this one up for cards. I'm not too worried about, what's going where. I'm just really practicing creating flowers on this one. And for the last thing I want to talk about is the emphasis. So balancing areas within a painting, again, so that you don't overwhelm the viewer's attention. You want to have focal points and balance it with the rest of the painting. And you can see here, as I created these cards, I was able to cut up and really give a lot of white space and really give some definition to just those particular focal areas in my painting. One of the charms of loose watercolor florals It really is in their organic and their lively appearance. Really overworking those paintings can make it look less fresh and maybe a little bit more overworked, which is really not what you're trying to go for. So in order to maintain that spontaneity in watercolors, you got to work swiftly, you got to work loosely, and you really have to let the paint flow more naturally. You don't want to dwell on that perfection, but instead you want to focus on capturing the flower's essence with more bold strokes. You want to embrace those mistakes, maybe the unexpected colors as you drop in other colors, as they often will add a little bit more interest into your painting, and experiment using different techniques to keep your work fun and loose. And using your instincts and using that watercolor unpredictability really can give you some really vibrant results. So instead of meticulously planning every single detail, it involves kind of tapping into your inner creativity and really letting go of that rigid expectations that you might have. And when you trust your instincts, really you're more likely to experiment with different color combinations, different brushstroke techniques, maybe different compositions. And this approach usually will lead to more organic or more unique looking results and captures the essence or that fluidity of your watercolor painting. And additionally, trusting your instincts really encourages you to embrace imperfections and those quote-unquote happy accidents. And ultimately, trusting your instincts with loose watercolor florals really allows you to infuse your paintings with a sense of authenticity, that personal expression that really just kind of breathes life into your personal creations, and allowing your intuition to guide your brushstrokes. Detailing too early in the process of painting loose watercolor florals, it's essential for maintaining that spontaneity of the artwork. If you're detailing too early, it can hinder the natural flow of the painting, and it can restrict the freedom in your expression that comes with that style. Resisting the urge to add those intricate details too soon, it can give the chance to focus on building a really strong foundation of shapes and color and composition. And then waiting to detail until later in the process to assess the overall balance and the harmony of the piece before committing to specific elements. It also allows for corrections and adjustments to be made more easily as the painting evolves and it takes shape. Delaying details also allows for the possibility of happy accidents and those spontaneous moments we talk about that can really enhance the beauty and character of a piece of art. So embracing that process, allowing the painting to develop naturally, gradually, can lead to much more dynamic and engaging results for you in your loose florals. While you're creating art, especially when you're working on a real detailed or real challenging piece, it's incredibly important for several reasons. The first is that rest and refreshment. Breaks give your mind, your eyes, your body a chance to rest and recharge. And painting can be kind of mentally and physically demanding, so taking short breaks can really help prevent fatigue, help you maintain focus and energy throughout the whole process. It can also let you gain perspective. Stepping away from your artwork for just a few minutes will allow you to gain perspective where you might notice details or areas that just might need a little adjustment, maybe things that you didn't see before. And this fresh perspective can help you make better informed decisions, which will improve the overall quality of your painting. Taking breaks helps prevent overworking your painting so that you're not as engrossed in the process that you keep adding more and more details, and sometimes that can be just too much for a piece. So regular breaks can help you assess whether you really need to do that additional work. Is it necessary, or maybe it's right where I want it to be. It can also reduce frustration. So if you encounter difficulties or you're feeling frustrated while you're painting, stepping away for a short break can help alleviate that stress or frustration. And sometimes taking a breather can really give you a new approach, or maybe you can solve a problem of something that you were struggling with. Also can help you with your physical health, because if you're not taking breaks, it can lead to strain, maybe strain on your neck or eye strain, stiff muscles. You can also have repetitive motion injuries. So taking a break allows you to stretch, you can move around, just prevents discomfort. Overall, incorporating regular breaks into your painting process can lead for better results, improved well-being, and just make the creative experience a little bit more enjoyable. And whether it's a short one or maybe you need a little bit longer one to kind of clear your mind, listening to your body and taking the breaks when it's necessary is really helpful in fulfilling your paintings and your artistic endeavors. Viewing your painting from a distance can really help you identify areas. Like, you don't want your whole painting to be really, really detailed with the loose flowers. You want maybe one or two spots that are really going to come forward in your painting. And then you're looking at your composition and deciding which areas you want to work those details with. So a great time to stop is when you're doing your loose florals. You get that initial first wash in, and then you are again taking that break and stepping away from your painting, not over mixing, not muddying your colors, and maybe not overworking it. I have been doing a lot of that lately, especially with my florals. I was feeling stuck. I was feeling frustrated with my flowers. You're finding that, like, I got the new dagger brush and I was trying that out. I was trying something different to, first of all, motivate me and to inspire me to try flowers again and to try it in a different way that spoke to my heart. Remember, watercolor is a fluid medium. It's not super structured, although, it's unpredictable. It can be predictable once you learn some of those basic steps. And depending on the type of work that you're doing, like in my seascape paintings, I am very structured in a lot of them. Maybe not at the beginning. Again, I do that really loose. I kind of color block in where I want things, and then I go back in and really kind of experiment and define certain areas. But I would say my landscapes are a little bit more structured than my flowers, at least so far. We're always developing, always changing, and that is part of accepting imperfections. Sometimes you find things that you really like because of your playfulness or your spontaneity, or you're letting loose so that you're not being perfect all the time. So don't be afraid to let go of that perfection. It is so freeing. Allow yourself that flexibility, allow yourself to revisit a painting, trusting your intuition, taking breaks, really embracing those imperfections. Really the key to navigating watercolors, and looking at key principles, and keep in mind that you are going to navigate this space with childlike, I guess, thought process where you just don't care, you're just playing. All right, so I hope this really helped you out. I know I kind of babbled on a little bit. Get in there, try it, and see what you can come up with. Don't forget to hit that like and share button. It means the world to me that you're here, and thank you so much for helping me grow my channel. Feel free to check out my Patreon if you want to dive in a little bit deeper and you get some behind the scenes. All right, bye.